I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome everyone here and thank you so much for taking some time out of your evening to share this space together with us in celebration of this equinox time. That we're just ahead of the equinox, but today is a really beautiful day in the Mayan calendar. One Kawuk, Hun Kawuk, and Kawuk are the waters. And in the Mayan medicine wheel, as we move into fall, we move into the element of the water. So it feels like a beautiful alignment happening. And we wanted to honor those energies and call our circle together today. And also know that oftentimes on the actual equinoxes and solstices, people are in ceremony. So we usually take these times to gather and just fill ourselves up with each other and the wisdom and the prayer, and take that forward with us into the changing of the season. I think everyone that's on the call with us tonight's here in the Northern Hemisphere, but we know that it's kind of in reverse in the South. And I think, these evening calls make it a little hard for people in other time zones, like really different time zones, to join us. So yeah, I just wanted to say welcome to the circle for those of you that are new to the call. It's really beautiful to see a lot of new faces here. And if always, I open the invitation to just let us know how you connected with us, maybe a little chat message, or it's good for us to know how the circle continues to grow. And those of us that are here and part of these circles all the time, we invite you to always share and invite others to these prayer times. So I would just like to welcome all of us, Tat Eric in Guatemala and Nankirana with him down there. Thank you so much for taking this time, this equinox time, and bringing the medicine of that place of the root that has sourced so many of us, and this beautiful home that you're in there, all the plants and animals and the medicine that comes from that sacred place of the Maya, the heart of the Maya. Just thank you for bringing that to us tonight, and I'd like to pass the talking stick to you. Ask for your prayer tonight and any message you'd like to share for the fall, and then feel free to use the chat, everyone, as things may come up, and then we'd love to open up the circle for more sharing after that. So just really so much gratitude, and I'm really excited, as I'm sure so many of us are, to really welcome this season of the fall. So we've been having some beautiful rains here, blessing the lands after hot, dry wildfire season. So grateful to welcome that in and bring that in on this day of Hunkawuk. Thank you so much.
I want to say thank you for your presence, for this the gathering we're having. And here we call Patiapa. Time for we're coming through a lot of this, the summer, all that we share through the Nahuales, the cycles of what we are sharing in our life. And so we want to today it starts like the initiation of a new cycle through the cycle of the water, and so this fall equinox is this time to start to see what we ready to harvest. And so that's kind of what is gathering this prayer to remind us, of what is coming about, So I wanted to share like today, here at Patiapa, meeting with a young man, just to see how the preparations are being made, that they're getting ready for the Maya kind of a gathering of the musicians and artists of the young people. So we were talking about how we can host that, here at Tiosh today. And then the next generation of what we've done so many years, now they're like making it happen. So you might see something coming up in this fall, because their gathering is in November. And so this is about preservation of the music, of the art, of the languages, of the dances, of the ceremonies, And so, we want to be able to connect all this together of what we're doing at Deer Mountain as well. A lot of nature changes, ecological challenges, and now we see the finances and so forth. You know how your world is. And so our world is in need of these gatherings, of these prayers, and then the action, put it in action. And so that's kind of like what we're doing. This summer we started with a fire ecology learning at Deer Mountain, praying to the spirits, to land, give us a little opportunity so that all those trees that they've been dying will not just burn. Other places are flooding, so we're praying to like our land over there that the springs and kind of dried out already. So nature's telling us something, and so this year, very small amount of blackberries. We usually have pies and save some for ice cream and so forth. And so it's telling us something, the very solid, big changes, Here, rains, lots of rains, we're expecting hurricanes coming through here. And so, all these things are happening, but the main that we want to focus tonight is how we connect to each other, because we are going to need each other so much more than we ever expected. This is the preparations, the fall, the spring we chose. Okay, what are we going to plant here in the north? So, then how are we going to take care of it? Well, it was too hot, maybe not enough water, challenges, Then other places, the food is spoiling because too much water, too much moisture. So it's like, who's gonna share to the other what the other needs? But both places are being challenged. So now it's like, how do we help each other? The fall, the harvest that we used to do a long time ago is not there anymore. The way to get to and from is getting harder and harder. And so the invitation and the prayer is how we're going to make a solid spiritual families that will take care, you know, years. It's not, you hear me?
You were freezing that. I hear you again.
Okay. So the challenges here with it gonna be tough, but we're gonna keep going. So this is the prayer of this cycles, and you're gonna, for those who are interested, we have already recorded before I left California the cycles of the 13-day weeks, in which tells us a story. It's like a prophecy, a short time prophecy of what we can prepare for. And like for us, the Maya here, the ceremonies. We know that Wakshakik Pax is coming, or the Belehep Kanil is coming, so we prepare for that. It's not all caught unaware or by surprise. So that's the small cycle. Our people shared about this greater cycles that now we are all experiencing. So the prayer is about opening the door to the rukush, we say, the essence, the rukush kach, rukush ulev, the heart of heaven, the heart of the earth, the essence of these places. What does that mean? And so we start to quadrant our world in the spaces in which, I saw this the other day at my Ishel's school, and they went one step forward and it says, that which is in front of me, may I declare it a safe place. That which is behind me, that which is in either side of me, that I'm now in the center to make it safe. And I was like, wow, that's our prayer. That's the Mayan prayer. Rukush kach, rukush ulev. that which is above, that which is below. Rukushkak, the essence of the fire, the essence of the sun, the essence of our emotions, the essence of our heart. Rukushkakit, the essence of the breath that we breathe from the trees, from the mother nature, the life force that is in the air. Rukush, yeah, the essence of the water, that which gave us life. Rukush Kastlemal, the essence of life itself. Rukush Kakastlemal, that essence in which the essence becomes a movement of life. Rukush Kokotzihal, the flower of life. We are a Rukush Kokotzihal. Can we become a flower in life? A blossom of all potential. To finally we get to the place of that serenity. We are now in the middle of the Rukush, that which is above, below, in front, behind, to one side or the other, is all made in order to have balance and harmony, so that our fire is not an emotional reaction to conditions that challenge us, but the emotion is of creativity, of intelligence, of the connection to the life force that gives us life to this Mother Earth, which is our grandfather sun. And we connect to the sun, we connect to the ceremony of fires that we are in ceremony. We gather the people, we pray, we make the offerings. Thank you, Creator. Thank you to all my ancestors, not just the ones who are crossed, but the ones who are still yet to come. We include the whole 7th generation on both sides. And then we say, how are we going to carry this? So we carry our fireplaces in our pipes, or we create the smoke, the tobacco, in ways where we don't contaminate our body. But there's the medicine of exchange to the air through time and space. We need to it's not in balance. It's not in permanence. And so how do we find in the serenity and the harmony in the world? It needs to be shaken up and totally changed. And that's what we are witnessing. That's what we are experiencing all around the nations. You see that happening in the natural world, the ice and the volcano in the great mountains, in the Antarctica, the North Pole. Everything is telling us a story. But they're also saying what to do and where to go. And we call it the Pashil Kayala, the sanctuaries. Create the vessels. Maybe just your body is Pashil Kayala. Make the vessel so it can navigate to any conditions through light and dark, known and unknown, seen or unseen, before you, behind you, beside you, in all ways and shape and forms. That you are you, and your rukush, your essence, is still that spiritual essence. That we don't get distracted and brought into all the emotions and the engagement and all that is happening. And so then we all start to become a beacon of sullenness, of rhythm, like you hear some of our ceremonies. You find a rhythm in which you travel. You know many songs. You know, our ceremonies are full of songs and dances and participation into becoming alive, to feel alive. And so these seasons coming up, and there's different predictions, they say. Those that are not, to the wellness of life. But then we will be able to navigate them because we've been preparing. If we act in emergency and a scarcity and fear, we're gonna trip. We're gonna bump around and we maybe end up with maybe we didn't want to. But if we train like the martial arts, you learn to dance, you learn to make your body discipline, your mind discipline, how you see things and how you react to that, how you hear it, how you feel it, and those reactions will create your reality. So on Hunkawuk, it's like prepare because the storm is coming. Time to purify, time to let go because what's there, maybe we don't need it anymore. And makes fear in the world. When we come to that place of serenity and there's silence, it scares the Western world. It scares mother world. Due to so much stimulants. And so Rukushka, Rukushulev, Rukushka, Rukushka Kek, Rukushya, Rukushka Stemal, Rukushka Kotzihal, Rukushka Kastemal, Matyo Shishawe Nimalech Katit Kamama. Thank you, Creator. Thank you, Shaper, Modeler. You who give us the palpitation of life. You who knows and sees and feels in all in oneness. May we approach you again. May we embrace that again. It's not that we got to go search for it. It's waiting for us. May we come with our essence and be able to flower, be able to readapt, be able to give thanks. So that's all of our prayers. It starts Matyosh away. Matyosh Shava. Matyosh Katit Kamama. Matyosh Nimalech Chachao. Matyoshisha Velo Kolukri Rukushkach, and all that we went through already, to bring us into a center, to bring us into harmony. From there, the power is like a star. A star is not stagnated. It's this power that forces so much power, and it illuminates that which surrounds it. And we see the ancestors still in the sky for millions of years ago. And so when we imitate, to bring that consciousness back into harmony and balance, then that can start to flow out in wavelengths. The waves of the drum, the waves of the fire, the waves of one copal drop into the essence of the fire, so it creates the prayer. It's a force behind that prayer to reach out all Dorian and Dora, we say. Wherever you are, wherever you've been, wherever you want to go, may it be clear. May you have the alliances with the plant people, your medicines, your food. May you have the joy of the songs from the water. May you feel the essence of the ancestors coming through the spirit of the wind. And when we get to the fire, we have the power to pray and send out that. This is what our have worked. And so I don't know how many people, really a lot of people are happy of how the nature is. How many forests are depleted. How the ocean, how much trash is everywhere. How much pollution in the air, or so on and so on and so on. It was a gift to us. He says, look, you spirit, you've been really good in the universe. And there's a jewel in the world, in the universe. We want to send you over there so you experience the physical, experience a smell of a flower, to hear the birds. Look, I created all these birds, the Creator says. Each one sings a different song. May you enjoy the symphony of this world. May you enjoy the different temperatures. Sometimes a desert, sometimes a rainforest, sometimes a cold in the mountains, sometimes into a cave. And wow, what are that? There's nothing missing in the gift that was given to us to come here to enjoy it. We didn't have to steal it. We didn't have to fight for it. We didn't have to hoard it. We didn't have to destroy it. But we did. We didn't have to do none of that. We had to just come and find how you love to paint, how you love to dance, how you love your best poem. How to, yes, cry and have pain, but transform it into joy and gratitude. That's why we came here, to renew our soul with the gifts of diversity. How that whale breaches, and the dolphin does different, and the turtle swims different. Like, wow, if we can watch and learn from all those beauty, imagine our conscience how it would be if we could just focus on creativity, on making love, of making beauty, of just appreciating the forest, to stand there and watch a tree grow. That's why we came here. Not to cut and destroy it and watch the empty field. What we've done to move us into action, what else would it take? And the loneliness of the soul no longer has life. When we can see that the red color is different than the blue, and that we need all the colors to make a beautiful rainbow. That we need the light and the dark, and that we need to embrace both of them. What do we need to do now? How do we go, all of us, just a few of us here, to go start cleaning up a shore of a lake? Pick up the trash along the beaches, on the streets, help another who's having a hard time. How do we get there? The Hunka Wuk starts to purify us. So things are being taken away from us. So we have to be in alert. We got to be ready. We got to be in fear, because what if I'm not ready? And so our ceremony life, it helps us to remember that gratitude. There's no special answers or great mysteries there. It's just for us to approach it in that way. Love, grace, and gratitude will give us the reverence for life. So if we love, we're gonna take care of it. We're gonna be careful not to lose our grace. And then for everything, thank you. Matosha we to the sacred tree. Matosha we lukuluch kotzich, to the beauty of the flower. Matosha we to the great keepers of the doors of the elementos. Matios nimalech balam kitze, balam akap, ik balang mahunkut. Takyungong maktatas, takyungong maknanas. Please forgive me. Con permiso. I ask permission to come in to sit by your shade, sacred tree. Can I enter your sacred world, to the caves of the underworld? Can I have permission to enter and bathe in your sacred waters, holy tree? Can I follow you and hop like you, sacred frogs? Can I learn to die well and go to the other dimensions and ask permission? Oh, Mamacita Ayahuasca. Sit and have our heart open with the grandfather Peyote. Can we sit and dissolve with the Hautetenanacats, the little God people? Can we live in that sacredness with respect? And there's a bounty for all, they say. There was enough for everybody, for all species. We didn't have to kill all the buffalo so we can put some cattle in the land and fence it all up. We didn't have to cut all the trees and then have purifying machines to have fresh air. We didn't have to pollute all the water, so now we have to filter everything. We can't just go to sometimes springs no more to drink water. We have to purify it. It's been documented now in us. That water is not safe. We can't cross borders, just travel the land and see our people because there's borders that stop us. So what do we have to do now? How do we come back to balance? And a lot of this has been shared. So many elders, prophecies all over the nations. The Kogi, the Arawaco, Maya, the Hopi, all kinds of people. And a lot of them, they've been doing what it takes to hold to the sacred. And we ask the people who come and learn to please, please, as you learn, it's a gift to remembrance. 2 things they tell us, they told me. We're going to share this with you. We want to help you. We want to reshape you. We want to clean up all the doctrinations. We want to clean your body, make it healthy. We want to pray for you, bless you up in a beauty way. But there's 2 things you must keep always. Love it as we have loved it. And take care of it as we have taken care of it. Original instruction. And then from that, it just evolved into beautiful bundles. How to be with the water, how to be with the fire, how to be with those trees, how to be with each other, how to be with the colors of all humanity without being threatened. To see each other's beauty, to hear each other's languages, to hear how you do things. Embrace that and glorify in their glory. I'm so happy I embrace you. Because your song was the best song ever. Your garden is the most beautiful garden. Embrace that triumph of that other being. When the bear comes by, he says, "Oh, my relative, just watch you." How beautiful to watch her walk by the forest. Or the deer just being deer. How precious that is. But we lost that love. And so we go back to the lodges, we go back to our fires, we go back to remembering the words that we gained from generations before. Yeah, that didn't work. Okay, now what? This really works. Okay, can we share it? So we've been sharing a lot. The Maya trained a bunch of people, elders. They started here, come here. This is how we do these things, how we open the stargates to communicate with other beings, to communicate with the trees, to communicate with the water molecular, the spirit of that water, to communicate with other life forms. And then when we took the medicines, it was confirmed. It lives on. It's powerful. It's beautiful. We must prepare for a long, start preparing for a harsh winter. Might last years and years. And some of us who have kids, some of us who want to have families, we have grandkids, 9 grandkids already. I have 2 of my daughters are here, my wife, 3 of my daughters over here, and my sisters here, my brother, family. We've shared incredible moments. Feel it, so come and rejuvenate yourself and crystallize your visions. We want to see the immense vision that you want to create, to celebrate you, to support you. So when we collapse, and we go, okay, come here, we'll hold you, we'll hold each other, we'll support you. gets scary sometimes when we get trapped. It gets scary when we're lonely, we're hurt, and nobody's there. Very scary. Scary when we go and we find this conflict coming at you, like, ooh, now what? Ooh. Then we have the spirit, this prayer. It lives on, so the vibrations start to emanate that. There's no threat. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to take nothing from you. I'm here to celebrate you and to remind that, yes, we live in this way, but there's a different way too. We have brought conflict people together, gang members from different, I used to be in one of those in LA and other places, bring us together. And in the sweat lodge today, the grandmothers in there help us to purify that anger, that frustration, that fear for each other, that hatefulness. And then we cry together. And then we hug each other. So, you're my brother. Yeah, man, we're brothers. We're sisters. We are family. Somebody put us to fight ourselves. But now we can become aware and that there's no longer need for that. Now they say too many hungry ghosts all around the land, searching, wanting, and devouring everything that is there left. Those hungry ghosts will never be fed by anything physical we do. We must release them, give them to the fire. We must let them go, let them wash with the water, and not bring them into our world. So then we go and start to be settled. We start to be in what we call our ceremonies. Our ceremonies are conversations and actions with God. It's like we don't talk about it, we go and be with it. We go talk with creation. So in our prayers, you hear, Mateo Shaweni Malachung, Kawuk, Kai, Kawuk, Oshi, Kawuk, Kaki, Kawuk, Wakawuk, Waku, Kawuk, Wakshaki, Kawuk. And we go through the frequencies in which Kawuk manifests itself. And those echoes goes from one generation to another. And it encompasses, nothing is left unattended. Nothing. Imush, the thought forms, the created life forms. Rukush, Kaslem, the life, the essence of the life. But it took Imush to have a thought. And it took the breath to, like when we came to this world, first thing is when we got into this, oh yeah, okay, life. Now we can suffer, now we can do all kinds of stuff. And we can prepare for the joy as our birth. And what if, like we were 9 months, 260 days, according to the calendar, in the life form in the mother, with the DNA developing and shaping us into this shape and form. So what if this 20 years we live here, 40, 60, 100 years, is only the development of a birth when we die? So when the women are pregnant, they must take care of themselves to have a healthy birth. And here are midwives, they right away, when the women know here that they're pregnant, they go to see the midwives. It's vital. First thing they put you is in the swelach, in the hunkawuk. Go to the temascal. Here we will bless you up. We will sing the songs of our ancestors. So the baby, the DNA, can start to unwind those stories inside of us. Then the massages, the shape, the massaging and praying and telling where the lineages come from. Who was your grandfather, grandmother? And they talk and they say, in when the baby's being shaped and formed. So then when we come here, it's like, well, who am I? Where do I come from? What am I supposed to do? We ask these questions. In some cultures, there's no reason for those questions. They know. Because one of the things was the stories were told, the songs were sung. Yeah, you come from Bear Clan. You're gonna carry the Angelica root, and you're gonna be planting corn. We're the Ishim, the people of the Ishim, the corn people. We are the red corn people. We are families this, and we are Chiquel or we're Sutujil, and we are, and so they know where you come from. This is the land of the feathered serpent. You know, when you're born, this is the land of the feathered serpent where I'm coming in. I know that this is my home. The examples of what if all this life, what we do now, the educating the indoctrination that we've been kind of, you should do that. And it's like, wow, okay. But what if the shape and form as we free our minds from that is to shape the beautiful life that we're gonna have on our birth? That's the questions we should be asking. What can I do now to evolution my soul to have a beautiful birth? And to take the memories here of the sacred, who's been in under a waterfall? Only one? Okay. One person on the waterfall. Maybe we should two persons on the waterfall. Okay. Maybe we should have more people going to the waterfall to learn that song. What if that song to be under the waterfall is going to shape your next creation? How many seen a sunrise? Only me. Okay. Okay, Kirana's seen a sunrise. What if that sunrise is the medicine to shape you into your next creation? What if, who has sung to a tree? Me. Only me? Oh, Raquel sang to a tree. Okay. Two people sang to a tree. What if that interaction with that tree, you will have a good breath to take it when we die, so that your next life is the remembrance of how precious that air was, that breath. Today I was coming home from work over here across the lake, and the clouds touched the lake. We're on a boat. That's where we're here. We can only get here by boat. No roads, no electricity, none of that. We have solar and wind power. And so coming in the lake, it was like, oh, everybody, we better not go because it's foggy. Can't see 20 feet in front of you. Like, that's when I want to go. I want to touch, I want that mist to touch my face, and the spray from the boat to spray the water into my essence. And so this is what we keep to try to experience, to live. And so here we go, to create this life in the shape and form that we start to consciously designing our death. This is a good day to die. I'm grateful. I'm ready. This is I am full. I am fulfilled. I am complete. Who can say that right now? Sometimes maybe we'll get there. So we say, hey, I am complete. Thank you, Creator. Thank you for my life. Thank you for that incredible beauty we have experienced here. And as I go, may I be in grace, because we don't know exactly how we're going to be when we come. But our birth will be a holy experience, be a sacred transition. We're like, thank you. The last words maybe, thank you, Creator. To celebrate this gift that we're going to have, the memories, the only thing we're going to take from us, from this world, Not our bodies, not the money, not the cars, not the houses. It's the memories and the flavors, the emotions, the feelings that created our love for ourselves, for each other, for this gratitude. That's all we're going to take. Nothing else. Now the people who are dying, they had companies and great war machines and nations they led. Wow, what an inheritance they have left. A lot of people hurt, a lot of destruction. And so who knows what they're coming into right now. People tell me something the other day that now that they cross, they know your love. They know your appreciation. They know their truth now. They are now to the place where we have to receive all that, and then we call it toch. What kind of gift are we going to give them? So this is this fall, and as some of you maybe will follow the stories that when they say Hum today, Hum Kawuk, where does it go? We share part of the story because it's very long stories. But in our prayers, we will cover all the stories in one cycle of creation. Open the stargates. So there's nothing excluded, no grass, no grasshopper, no deer, no human, no, you know, all that we know, all elementals and many spirituals. All them, they get named. Nanas, the grandmothers, Nana Ishmakane, Nana Ishpiakok, Nana Ishkik, Nani Shel, Kahipa Lunya, Chomiya, Kakishaya, Tsununya, oh, Nanu Leo, Brukushu Leo, oh, linda Pachamama. It's a song, it's a prayer to acknowledge the birthers of life. Alom Kocholom Haratat. And all these grandmothers birthed the light itself. The whole universe was birthed. Some cannot cross. We must obey the law of genetics. We must obey those bundles that we call the original instructions. When we don't, we get in trouble. Yes, we should have always understood how the nuclear reaction happens. To break the atom, let them, but never should have been used by people who were not mature enough to understand its power. Now we have a problem. Hopefully we don't see it in the near future. They're getting ready. That's how not well they are. How can we think of doing that? But it's happening. So then us together, we pray, and then we're going to open it up to others. You know, here's a melody, it's Nana here, and Nana Raquel, and Nana Hetty, and Nana Marsha. And there's some Yellow Robe and others who's, you know, and Melissa, who've been ceremonies. Marcela, and the young people like Katrina, I think she left, you know, who wow, moving forward. And then my daughter's here, you know, holding the prayers, holding that inheritance. And that's all we could do. I was talking to this young man today. He's a teacher for the marimba. And he says, we have an association of Mayan artists. And we want to do, you know, a gathering to, because we do it every year. And I said, well, what can we help with? I'm encouraging you to crystallize your vision. His dream is to create a school like they have a symphony school. They have the, you know, guitar schools and that to teach the Mayan instruments. There's no school now. Here's a young man, maybe I think he's 28 or something. He's got 4 kids already, but he's working with us. His dream is to create that. Yeah, man, crystallize your vision. Here with right here with what else? Each one of you have a vision. Crystallize something beautiful, something that will heal, something that will guide, inspire, something that will correct that which is not in balance. And that has to happen. The fierceness of a warrior is not to be docile or shy, is to be respectful, but not compromise to upset what needs to be in balance. And it's hard to get there, not to be engaged in all these things, but to be a warrior, not for war, but to protect that which is sacred. So it doesn't come natural to many of us. We have to train. The elders have to teach us that discipline to see the supernatural coming at you and not run. I did the first time. Everybody knows that. I run. So powerful. Clouds and thunder and spears coming in. I'm running. The second time I did no more running. Stood my ground. Lightning, Creator, I am here. This is who I am. As you wish, my love. That's why I said now to the spirits and all things. As you wish, my love. So thank you for tonight. For sharing a little bit, and then maybe Getty or Raquel will open it up to others, and then maybe we'll close it up, with something else. Thank you, and it's good to see many of you, and you.
Thank you so much, Todd Eric, for that sharing, and such a deep flow that it's always beautiful to receive. And for the most part, we could hear you. A few little moments there, but thank you so much for all that it takes and all that you are and all that you bring to the world. So we would love to see if some of the others in this circle would like to offer a prayer tonight. And we thought maybe I can invite you to start us off, Raquel, with the share tonight, and then we'll pass it around to some others, and just feeling deep gratitude. Thank you.
Matios. Yeah, so much gratitude. I feel that I want to focus on one thing that Eric spoke, which is the phrase of just focus on lovemaking. I really try to do that. And I remember coming home to this medicine of my ancestral roots, which I had to rediscover. And I really want to speak to that. I want to speak to those of us who haven't had it just offered. We have to find the call in our spirit. We have to find what focusing on lovemaking looks like in our lives. And sometimes it brings us home to a tradition. Sometimes it just brings us home to this space where we can create our own and be the legacy makers. If I don't get published anywhere, but I leave a legacy of love, I'm all right with that. I really am. And it's beautiful for us to not underestimate that aspect of what we are. So I just want to offer this prayer and give thanks for all the expressions of love. May the waters in each one of us be supported through this circle now, through all that really sources us and helps us to remember our connection to this earth. May we just remember. It seems so simple, but there's a profound realization when we have these moments of awakening and we can connect again to the earth, and we can not only remember, but have so much compassion for every state we've ever been in where we forgot, where we felt alone. And this human experience of isolation is very real. So it's come up so much in my personal conversations and in my own actions and in the actions of others to just reach out to all those we feel. So I want to just encourage us and really encode our waters with this willingness to love out loud as we are. And when we don't know the way, to just say, I don't know the way, but I'm here. And this is what I'm here for. To be willing and strong enough to tell the truth of love when it's not the story that's being played out. I don't remember the author, so forgive me, it's unknown, but the future belongs to the ones with the most compelling story. And that's always struck me, to be really careful with my story, to really be careful with the story I tell myself, especially as a woman, to dispel all these places that we degrade our own essence because the world taught us that it's just the way. Mm-mm. This fall, I really welcome a season of more and more empowerment of that beauty way, where we celebrate the vulnerability that is strength, where we welcome tears and we call them what they are. It's nothing, it's not an apology. It's like, this is my holy water, let it fall. Witness it. I'm not going to look away. So what does it take for us not to look away? To really look towards the spaces in us where there is a gap or a chasm or something we feel needs to be filled for us to be able to love and show up. That we forgive ourselves for those places of, well, I'm going to call it ignorance because it is. It's this space of just not remembering how precious it is to just show up with our voice and our vibration or our silence when we have no words or when words won't really work. My daughter told me a story of having to listen to something that she really experienced as non-truth and just the power of silence and not looking away. The power of love that rises when we are willing to be still. And I really just carry these words forward from Vern Williams and Haida, who recently shared teachings. And he was talking about the other option that isn't respond or react, but it is to be still, to understand. So this is what wanted to come through. And I just really encourage us to focus on lovemaking. And when we really do that, to be willing to be vulnerable with each other, to be willing to be brave too. Loving is a brave act. It is sometimes, well, muddy, but I've been in this world, in this like valley of love and compassion and curiosity lately, and my feet got really muddy. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just spread this mud all over and go hug someone and smear it all around and collect your treasures there, through this process of what it takes to be a greater vessel for love. I used to arrive at lots of ceremonies with long intentions, and now my only one is to just be a greater vessel for love and to be willing to confront all my edges and sometimes, be perfectly human and imperfect in that. But just offer you blessings and all the encouragement and cultivation of grace that this season may offer you. That we continue to just give it away and show up with each other. And remember that this is the time to become the people made of honey, where we are, in essence, sweet and aware of that, aware of what we have to pollinate one another. It's easy to fall in love with being Maya, because it is all about flowering and nurturing each other as these sacred gardens where you can just bask in the beauty of each other's flourishment. So blessings to all of you. May you just, yeah, flower wildly. And may that inspire others and really guide you through all that we as individuals and collectively are experiencing. Thank you for being part of this circle, and may the good medicine just cultivated here really nurture you and flow out into your life and flow out beyond those that are on the call. Each one of you, just for a moment, think of your dearest dear ones and the places that you're from and the teachers that you've had and the sacred rivers or mountains or deserts that have just busted you wide open. And look, we just called in the whole world. So may this love just flow out to the whole world, and may we reach beautiful reflections of all that again and again. Thank you for being mine tonight. And Matya Shaway to you, Thought Eric, for your love and your inspiration, and to each one of you who have really supported me on my path. And we all showed up in the circle for the first time once. So welcome and welcome home again to everyone. And I feel called to pass this talking stick to Stella Star if you're available. Sister, I don't know if you are, but just really want to honor you for the work that you do in your photography and in your spirit of life. And you're there, so bless
I'm
us.
here.
Oh.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, it's super beautiful to see you all and create this space and the sacredness together today. Yeah, what do I want to share? Thank you, Eric and Raquel, for your beautiful sharings. And yeah, I guess I'll just share the space that I'm in right now and where I'm coming from, and hope that there's resonance for you all, and that you can find the little jewels of wisdom and where it settles in your being to open up into more alignment to your beauty and empowerment. I am, for the first time in a couple of years, away from my homestead, which is a big, beautiful beast that I've been creating for a handful of years. And yeah, I stepped away from it and I'm on a vacation, which is a funny thing to say, but it's true, because I'm really creating space to allow the artist and the healer more room in my life. And I've been away from home, and I'm up on the Olympic Peninsula, which is a really powerful place for me, that I feel very connected to my ancestry and the elements and the Salish Sea and the cedar trees and the eagles and the owls and all these beautiful birds of prey. And what's happening for me since I have left home, and even in the last couple of days, is this sort of sloughing off of all of the mind chatter and sloughing off of all of the to-do list, and just this sort of heavy grit that I have been holding in my being for a really long time. And there's this expansion that's happening. And Raquel, I love that you mentioned my photography, because just in the last couple of days, I left on my trip. It was sort of like the seas parted and I didn't plan anything, and I just got in my truck and drove away. And yeah, I called my friend hours before I got to Port Townsend, and she's like, come and stay with me. And then that opened up into this invitation on this beautiful farm where all of these artists and creatives and mystics came together in a very open format and had a beautiful dinner, and this couple of days of sharing and co-creating and allowing space to see what sort of magic can be woven. And it's in every single person that spoke, I was just like, wow, it's so incredible that you're here. And just looking around the table, the strength of community and the strength of coming together. And yeah, it for sure made me think about Earth Peoples United and the family here. But in that coming together, the artist in me was allowed more room to breathe and be inspired. And the like visions for documentaries and the visions for collaborations and the visions for weaving photography with ceremony and holding space for myself as an empowered healer and artist just sort of is like beginning to feel more fully in my being. And yeah, it's just it's beautiful to feel that, and it's beautiful to yeah, have the space to speak to it and just to hold that in the shift of coming into this time of year, which is always a very connected time for me. I feel the veil thinning very strong every year, and my birthday is in October, and it's just a potent time for being really close to the like seed and the jewel of what my essence is. And yeah, I think that is all that I'll share, just that there's this very magnetic energy for the empowerment of the artist and the healer. And I feel that happening to a lot of people around me. And I just want to pray for each and every one of you that the artist and the healer and the mystic and the alignment of your true gift in the world can also be acknowledged and seen as that's coming more alive within my being. And I love you all so much, and I'm super grateful for this family that is here and the strength of the bonds and the relationships that continue to be woven into this beautiful tapestry that we're creating. So yeah, aho, love you.
Oh, I just wanted to share, I put it on chat, but there's been the most glorious rainbow here as these prayers are happening at Deer Mountain. And it's, for those of you that know the property here, there's the big rock that's the ancestral burial grounds below, and the rainbow is just coming straight out of it. So I just wanted to share that, that magic happening right outside as we're talking. Oh.
Magic outside and in. I just got a message about tears flowing, and this is what happens on these calls. Your cheeks hurt from smiling, and then you cry, and it's good tears. I wanted to pass the talking stick over. Marcella, are you in a place to pick up this stick?
I could do it. I could pick it up. Thanks, Raquel. I feel this energy of Kawak as such a like mixture of the waters in my own system. So I feel like on this day I'm just calling in that harmony of my own waters, and especially when I think of the connection to the hearth fire and just what it takes for me to keep my life in balance with as much service as I get called to create. I can tell the call for me is to just really learn how to harmonize my own nature and to bring those waters into balance, and always find the dignity in my existence in just the breath and the simplicity of being alive as the source of my service. So I think on this day I'm just happy to be in community and to be held, and to just kind of call in those places of learning and growth where I can sink deeper into my dignity and really just like, I feel like there's some understanding opening that we've just been so, my mind has been so colonized in a certain way to be turned against myself. So I'm just wanting to call in the places that I'm twisted up inside from all that conditioning, and just really embrace that it's just being alive is enough. It's like really enough. And if I can honor that and take care of that and really tend the fire of my own being in a way that allows for that dignity to get re-established in some way, that it's just going to help me sustain myself and my service in a much better way and take care of things in a much better way. So just feels like a deeper kind of tending that feels important to acknowledge on this day. And you know, I just gotta say, man, those acid waters, I tell you, Tasha, they still burn strong every once in a while. It's like, you know, learning how to come into balance with our own maturity of power, rather than all the immature places where we're still learning how to hold our strength and vitality and work those edges out. So that's my prayer for tonight, and I'm grateful for all of you.
Gosh, Marcella. And I wanted to pass the stick over to Melody.
Greetings, everyone, my relatives here. And thank you, Tat Eric, Nan Hedy, Nan Marsha, Nan Kirana, Nan Raquel, and my beautiful nieces and Melissa, and my students, Shelley, Sarah, Jake, and Blue Horse, and Yellow Robe, and Marcella, and all these wonderful people that I haven't met yet. And I thank you for inviting me into this circle. It means a lot to me, and it's a true blessing. And thank you, Markel, for the prayer and for your words, good words. And what I would like to say to sort of build on those good words is, for me, the main thing is to show up for ceremony, to show up for training, to show up for sacred circles. And that's really the only claim I can make, is that I showed up. And it's brought me to very good places where I wake up every day grateful and so happy that I get to do what I get to do. And talking about the world today, I like to use the word disconnected. My elders said that all people used to have the original sacred fire and the original instructions from the Creator. And many elders add from the star people, Creator to the star people, from the star people to the mother culture, and from the mother culture to us. And some are just more disconnected from those original instructions and that original sacred fire than others. But we can all reconnect. And I think that's what we're all doing here. And I'm just very, very grateful to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Melody. I'm curious, may I pass this talking stick over to Hummingbird Hill, to Zankala and Yellow Robe, and anything that may want to come from each or both, or as you wish.
I love hearing the words, Melody, of just gratitude, of being thankful, because I don't know, when I hear that, I just feel just my heart expanding, just my whole being just kind of going, well, thank you, Creator, for this mystery, because I do look around the world and it seems kind of crazy, but when I just look and feel in my heart, and I see all the growth and beautiful people around, I'm just like, I'm so thankful, for sure. And I had a really unusual morning this morning, because this weekend was in a lodge, and beautiful ceremony, and then on a call last night. And I got up this morning and I just felt really, really good. And I had some physical therapy appointment. And so I went to it, and the practitioner said, he just asked me, he said, well, how do you feel this morning? And I said, I feel joyful, you know, and it's kind of like, that is so unusual in this world, you know, because Monday morning, you're supposed to be depressed and sad and like, you know, your head's on the ground and you got a hangover from watching too much football and, you know, all this craziness. But boy, I just, you know, it's like I surprised myself, you know, I just asked myself, well, how do I feel? And I just said, I feel joyful, you know, I felt really, really good. And then of course he does all this therapy and kind of shows me where my body's at. So, you know, there's stuff going on, but in my heart, you know, it's really good to be alive. And, you know, I mean, my prayer would be just to feel that joy. If I could wake up every morning feeling that joy, I mean, what a miracle. You know, that would be really, really something. I can't think of anything more. You know, what a gift. So Creator, I'll do what I can. Please help me. Oh.
And I'll just say, it's so lovely to see all your beautiful shining faces and feel your love, your spirit. And what's really impressed upon me that I am hearing and seeing in many different ways is that we are all one, we're all connected. And our suffering just comes when we fall into that nightmare or dream that we're disconnected. But that's not true, because we are really all connected. And I have also just been reading this book about the Ho'oponopono Hawaiian practice of forgiveness and just declaring that love. And that's been so powerful for me, because it's just been a real beautiful healing in doing that. So lovely to see all of you, and Mitakuye-san. Thank you.
Beautiful. And if you have something like there to share right now, I just want to encourage you to unmute yourself and share into this space, and to feel free and welcome to pick up the talking stick and be in this space, this container. And no pressure, but you're welcome.
Hi, everyone. My name is Melissa, and I just want to first thank Tata Eric and Nan Hedy and Nan Kirana and Nan Raquel, and that are here on the call, for your guidance and your teachings and your love, you know, and having a space for all of us to connect like this. Yeah, it's very special. And yeah, I wanted to jump in because I had a little story that I wanted to share. Well, two brief stories, and one is about how the elements can move us, you know, and the other is about how nature is calling us. And so the first one is I just saw Jose today, who is doing a lot of work near Deer Mountain, and it's been a hot summer, you know, it's been really hot. And he's been working with his crew and you know, sometimes 100, 104 degrees. And so he came over today, he's in Boulder right now, and he came over today and he said, Melissa, it rained on Saturday. He was, and it's getting cool in the morning and cool in the evening, and so he's noticing this as we move in, as this equinox represents, into this change of seasons. But that gratitude, was so sincere from his heart of that rain and of that water. And it was just refreshing, really refreshing. Simple. It can be that simple. So, and the other story was about how, I just in the last week, an example of how nature's calling. And I think you guys remember, well, those of you that were in the ceremony at Deer Mountain in March may remember my friend Bessie, who came there with me. And she's just this beautiful environmental lawyer who's just, working hard to try to make a difference in the environment and in our world. And anyway, so just last week she texted me and Melody, you said, sometimes we're disconnected from those original laws, and so she's this is all very new to her. And so March is just like the first time she's just, kind of, wow, introduction. And what a wonderful introduction that it was. So anyway, she texts me and she says, I can't remember the exact words, but she says, Melissa, I just want to know, like, what does it mean? Like, all these eagles and hawks are showing up around me, and are they stalking me? Like, what's going on here? What does this mean? And so, it's just this beautiful message that, nature and the elements and all of our relations are really calling for that connection and those offerings and to build a relationship. And so I just thought that was a really sweet, innocent reminder of that. And anyways, yeah, that's it. I just had to share that as they came up in the last week. And I'm so grateful, yeah, for everyone here, and good to see so many faces. I hope.
Thank you all. And wow, it's been such a rich call. Thank you for this time and space. And I just want to really encourage you to stay connected, and all those ways that we can weave online, we really send our spirit out. It's a space where we really make those offerings so that we can pull in the opportunities to share this kind of space. And I just wanted to say thank you. So many blessings to each one of you. And I wanted to pass this talking stick back to Thought Eric to close us up or open us up from here. I like to think of it as like we wind out and spiral and take all of this with us. So please join us online or in our member space or on Facebook or in any of our circles, because this really is a labor of love. And it's, we're here to weave spirit and cultivate this space. So I'm so fed from being able to connect in person in this way and over the lines. And I just want to thank you for giving of yourself and your essence in this time. And Matyasha, way to you that. And thank you for your prayers tonight.
Thank you, and Raquel and Hedy, every single one of you who shared, it's the beauty to come together, we usually sit in circles, the circle of life is to have all included, like some of you may know, I've been part of a lot of circles and our people, North America, Canada, and here, Guatemala, and sometimes because of our history, separation, and I understand it. We're protecting the nations as we grow again, as we reclaim our sovereignty, as people reclaim our connection to the creation and to establish again our flow of the offer the world. Just like all people has offered so much has been impeded, has not allowed for our people to share. And as of late, of course, we've been invited, and then the doors are open so much all over. And that's where creating the vision of the people, the earth peoples united. So when we were medicine, and people's like, okay, who are we? What is a vision to go? Yes, the people of the corn colors, red corn people, native people, black corn people, white corn people, yellow corn people, then the blue corn. Brought it together and say, okay, what is it that we need to do as humanity? Unify. Earth, peoples, united. And we are in alliance with other councils of different nations. And the efforts are of unification, of reconciliation, or repatriation, to bring home that which is not, was taken, And so that's kind of where some of us, our work is, And so invitation to gather up, we're going to come up with some ceremonies. In October, we're going to other people's village, and then another ceremonies in November, and so forth, so that unify. And then we take that medicine and we encourage others to unify in their neck of the woods, to make the circles grow, And so that's kind of what today in this Hunkawuk fall equinox, the prayer is that we continue to unify it, because if we can strengthen it, when we can strengthen it, then those things that are messing up the world can be moved away. Right. We need to have the carriers of that which is sacred back into the leadership of the world. And it takes like this. It takes the conscience of movement all the time, of shaping and remodeling and being part of the sacred circles. So thank you for tonight. May this equal light, equal dark become the shape and form of our world, harmony and balance. And so that when we come up to the winter solstice, we'll gather again and make another, we said another looking forward, so that we prepare for, this coming up. But now is the balance, may we have balance between each other. It's great to see many faces. Thank you for each of your words, and all that you share is beauty. And next time, the circle is open, excited to share. Don't be shy. You have so much to share. And this prayer, we're going to take it, and put it in the maloka, put it in our sacred grounds, so that it's not just us talking, but it's all of us sharing. And then when we come to ceremony, then we can celebrate and then really have a really beautiful time. Matiosh Away, Matiosh Nimalech Katit Kamama, Matiosh Away, Lokolo Chachao Kumbuk, Matiosh Away Nimalech Katit Kamama. Thank you to each. Have a beautiful time forward.
And feel free to unmute yourself and share in your farewell. And so many blessings to each one of you.
I'm gonna say something.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Bye.
Hi,
Yes,
Michelle.
you all.
Goodbye, beautiful people.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Monica.
Bye. Yeah, we have to connect, Melody.
Yes, we will.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Night,
all.
everybody.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Tana. Nana and Nanas.
Commenting.
Good night, everyone.
Oh,
Blessings to you.
Mhm.
Love you all.
Love you, Sylvia.
Love you.
Bye.
Blessings, everyone. So much
Bye,
love.
Michelle. Love you. Love you, brother Eric. Love you.
Melissa's.
Bye. Ciao.
Right.
Oh, gosh. Aw. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
I love you guys.